I am diving a haunted island, and I'm gonna be underwater. Hey, is that a grave?
Now Jen's missing.
Oh my God! Whoa!
Worst case scenario for me. This is not helping my situation. I'm not good with it.
Our group of friends will follow each other literally into a dark dungeon at nighttime.
I hear like this noise, and it's happening.
Sounds like it's coming from back there.
I am not built for ghost hunting.
Previously on Jump In.
We are at Fox Point Beach doing our annual pumpkin dive.
This was the second attempt at pumpkin carving.
Yep.
And I think we were successful.
I think we nailed it. This is just the beginning. Tomorrow it's gonna get even spookier.
It is a very foggy morning, and Captain Dave is about to take us to one of the spookiest places in Halifax.
So I said to Captain Dave, I was like, can we go up and explore for a skinny minute? And he was like, yep. I was like, where are you gonna take us? And he was like, nope.
At the top of this hill is where Dave said something spooky may be. Oh my God!
I feel like I've always heard about McNabb's Island, people very excited about it. I'm local, I grew up here in Nova Scotia, and I have never been to McNabb's, so I am very excited to go and check it out.
There was a lot to see on McNabb's Island. Our plan was to go visit some of the forts. There's a few old houses that we wanted to go look at as well. And we knew that that area was known for shipwrecks.
Once we got off the boat, Captain Dave gave us a rough lay of the land. He explained to us that just up the hill is where we could find Fort Ives, which was an old fort. And then, of course, he explained to us that the barges that we saw the second that we kind of came into view of the beach, they were actually decommissioned barges and boats. And all these years later, they're still there. They're still kind of intact and in pieces. And it was really cool that this gave us the opportunity to get super up close and personal with these like decrepit barges and old ships.
I want to know what year this was grounded here. We'll have to do some research. So it's interesting that I know the tide's low right now, but this must have like moved around over the years because there's so much growth on it, right? I'm curious how much like the hurricanes in the last few years have moved this around.
Yeah, we dive all the time and we seem to dive everywhere in the city, but this is the first time that we're ever actually getting to dive McNabb's. I think there's gonna be cool stuff in the water here. Like, I'm looking out and I'm seeing stuff sticking out. I want to get inside of that boiler, take a proper look at what's in there, but I can only imagine the history that's just below the surface. When we're seeing all of this stuff on the beach, who knows what we're gonna find.
When Captain Dave, we docked and we got onto the beach, he showed us the shipwreck, we talked a little bit about that, but he also told us about the trail directly from where we were on the beach, which would lead to, I think it was Fort Ives.
Captain Dave, when I asked him why he didn't want to go with us, he said that he wanted us to make our own opinions and he didn't want to influence our views of the island because he had had an experience there. Well, when you say you have an experience there, obviously we're going to expect something. So, away we go.
He said Fort Ives is where we need to go, just straight in.
Fort Ives. It's an old fortification that I think was used during World War I and World War II. It's a pretty old fort, and it isn't very well kept up because it's on a fairly secluded island, but it also was really interesting to explore it in that sense because no one else was on the island with us. So we had the fort and the island to ourselves that day.
So we're looking at the fort. Great big wall, all these cutouts, but most of them are boarded or welded shut, but this one is wide open. that absolutely caught my attention, and I had to go check it out.
Seems like a place of murder would have taken place. Gives you a weird vibe. You feel like you're going to find a dead body or something when you look in there.
There was definitely some spooky vibes inside of there. And then in the corner of the room, there was actually like an opening. And I think it was April right away kind of like went and dashed over to that corner to go and explore it further.
That's scary. I don't like that.
How far back does it go?
Really far?
I thought, I don't want to go in there at all, but then of course, like 2 minutes later, I'm in there too because my curiosity gets the best of me.
It's kind of scary. What if like a little monster just like...
In they go, and it was very narrow. Very narrow. So I was like, I'm not chancing getting stuck in a tunnel, calling 911, having to be helicoptered out of this tunnel. These idiots can go and do it. They are all crawling into a tiny hole and going downstairs to some weird random place, which I am not going to go.
We are in a strange room. It kind of feels like a crypt. And there's a bunch of weird little crawl-throughs that maybe we'll go explore. Will we be back? Will you ever see us again?
We'll just go for
Who knows?
I kind of expected it to lead just to like the room adjacent, but it was like a hallway that just it traveled for a long way and then it dipped down lower.
Ooh. It goes down, like down.
And we were like, there's no way anything good has happened in here. So I think April, she was like, we should check it out. I was like, I don't know. But I ended up going in first.
How far back does it go?
Very far.
Oh, man.
Oh, there's a window.
It just keeps goes into the next cell.
Another room.
Oh, man. But, like, you can see, like, this is clearly, like, drawn on.
Something was like calling us in to explore it. It's funny because we were putting ourselves into a situation where if there were a monster or a murderer, that's where they would come and kill us.
Oh, man. What are we going to find over here? Oh, Lacey.
Anything scary?
I feel like I should be going like this right now.
This is like Egypt.
I hear voices. Do you guys hear that? Yeah, we need to get out. We need to get out of here.
I was kind of just letting my imagination run wild and thinking about what it used to be for people when this fort was still active.
It must be like a hallway in the fort that they used to use to go between all the rooms. It kind of
We need to get out of here. I'm picking up ghosty vibes.
We made it out of our room alive. New time. Like I was, I didn't know if we were getting out of that tunnel.
After we got out of the little dungeon room, there was still lots of the fortification to explore. There were some cannons to look at, kind of stacked right across from the building that we crawled into.
Holy cannon! There's so many cannons, holy cow!
These must be so heavy. I wonder how much each cannon weighs.
We ended up climbing up a stairwell looking at more cannons. And then April and I kind of like went through this little hidey hole up to like a top level.
We were just crawling through the tunnels and they're right below us right now. So we're walking over top of what we were just inside.
So there's a geocache, and this one's called Fort Ives Geocache on McNabb's Island. So there might be stuff in it. There might be some cool stuff that we can like look out and see and exchange and log, and it's like treasure hunting.
Where's Jen?
She went in the hole.
People told us not to go wandering alone here.
They did. They said don't wander by yourself.
Of course it would be Jen that would go off on her own.
So on the island, there are quite a few geocaches. So as we were exploring, I would just pull up the app and be like, I wonder.
What did you find over there?
I can't tell you it's that exciting. It's literally a film container with a paper.
All right, this is a geocache, and I can tell you why. Because it has the paper where everybody has logged that they found the geocache.
So what is it? What's the prize?
That not all of them have a prize. It tells you like how many people. 2016, So this has been here.
Grizzy Bob.
It's actually marked as somebody's favorite 15 times to find this cache. I like to just go off by myself and go geocaching because it's like a good walk and treasure hunting while you're doing it. Sometimes there's prizes in it that you can exchange for a new prize. It's something that people could be like really interested in with their kids, like to get them outdoors and actually doing stuff as a family, and it's free. So I usually carry a couple toys with me if I'm out geocaching, and then I can swap things out. Sometimes I find cool magnets, sometimes there's a gift card, sometimes there's like a chain, like all kinds of different stuff. So to find one on McNabb's Island, I think it's pretty cool because I've never thought to go geocaching here. And something in me just told me to look up on the geocaching website to see if there is something because it's the perfect spot. And sure enough, there's quite a few geocaches. I'll tuck it back in because with the water and the rain and stuff,
Yeah.
like, I don't want the paper to
Oh,
get
because there's no
ruined.
top?
The more we explored this island, the more the scary tension started to build. So when we were on top of the fortification, we noticed in the distance that there was a roof of a building. And the closer we looked, the more buildings that we saw kind of in the distance.
In the house. Oh, that's definitely.
Oh.
You go down this long stretch, and there's a broken metal gate at the end. And past that, you can see one of the houses, which is really freaky. Like, if you're thinking about a haunted house, this is what you have in your head.
That is a murder house I've ever seen.
That's why you're here.
I'll crack the case. But it has dual wraparound porches, so it can't be that bad. Well, the worst murders happen in the nicest homes.
Ah! If I knew the story behind this house, I don't think I'd be here.
Of course, when we walked around the house, the front doors were boarded up, but some of the windows were actually not boarded up, so we were able to look inside.
I have to look.
There's a doll.
Will you look with me?
I looked already, but
Look at the same time as me. Do you see it? I can see it. Oh my, oh my, oh my, oh my, oh my. Oh! There's a doll! It's lying down. It looks like it got murdered.
This was the big first wave of fear. Everybody started being a little bit more on edge after we see this doll in a wheelchair.
I told you a murder took place here.
A murder of a doll.
And it's sitting on a wheelchair.
I thought it was on a bed.
No, it's straight up on a wheelchair, bro.
That really escalated things, you know? Like, doesn't take much, but I'm really freaked out. Everyone sees it, and we all are just collectively weirded out by this. We kind of thought, we have to come back later once it gets dark and check it out. But, I don't know. That was weird.
Come on,
I've never wanted to get in a house so badly.
Watch out, I got a stool.
a stool. Oh.
April. Watch your feet.
Can you see anything else in the room besides that?
No.
That's all I can see.
That's why I want to get in.
Oh, Annabelle.
Why would someone lay a doll on a wheelchair? To scare us.
Just down the road from the first abandoned house that we saw, there was yet another abandoned house. And this one also was boarded up on all the windows, except for the ones on the second floor.
Look up in that window. There's
I know something blue.
It's a door.
We were all looking at the house and looking in the windows as much as we could from afar. And I noticed this weird, almost face in one of the windows right in the center.
Oh, look, broken window up there. In the shape of a woman.
Why would there be a face of any kind inside of this window?
Oh, I see it.
There's eyes. It looks like a raccoon. That window, it looks like there's a face. Do you see a raccoon? I see eyes. In the one with the curtain that's moved over a little. I see raccoon right in the corner. That'd be cute.
I saw that too.
A chill goes down your spine, like even just being there. Because already you got that weird doll. Then you have this weird face looking at you. And then we were like, we need to go back and go diving.
So we're exploring all these abandoned houses. It's been a few hours. We realize the sun is starting to set, and if we want to sneak in a dive to see the wrecks, this is our opportunity. So we head back to the beach, start getting our gear together to jump in.
So this was so terrifying in the day. And we're around supper time. And it's still like light, it's still like kind of like hitting dusk, but it was scary. So now I'm like expecting like, what's it gonna be like at night? Like, what is that gonna be like? It can only get scarier. We're heading into this place that is supposedly haunted, and Captain Dave doesn't like to go. After being on land and exploring these areas, they were so spooky and scary. I really want to go underwater and see what these wrecks are going to be like.
It's super cool because when we first came in, it was low tide, so we could see everything so much more exposed. But now it's gone underwater, so we're actually going to get to explore it underwater.
I was so excited about that boiler. When we first were coming in to the island, and I can see this boiler, it's like half in, half out. I see a passage on either side. I was like, oh, I'm swimming through that boiler.
I've never been here, so exploring a new location anytime is a lot of fun. And the fact that there's so many wrecks here just makes it so much more exciting to go.
It's dive time.
The cove that we were exploring was quite shallow. I checked out the topography of what it looked like down there before we jumped in, just so we knew kind of what we were working with. I think the maximum depth was like 5 meters, but slightly further out than where we were.
Very quickly, once we descended, I actually saw that there was eelgrass beds. I never knew that we had eelgrass beds in the Halifax Harbour. With eelgrass beds comes lots of critters to explore, so I was really excited by that.
We found some sea ravens that were huge. A couple times I was right over top of them. I see these cloudy eyes just staring at me, and a huge sea raven. They're kind of weird looking.
We had a pretty loose dive plan, and we knew that we wanted to check out the boiler and check out the remains of the skeleton of this old wreck in the distance.
As soon as I get to the boiler, I swim inside of it. It's not very deep, just kind of deep enough that there's enough room between the bottom of the boiler and the surface of the water. I'm swimming through and I kind of get to where I could pass through it, and I realize that it's just a bunch of pointy metal.
And then Alana and I continued on, and we actually wanted to go further down the beach. We kind of followed parallel to the shoreline because we wanted to go and look at some of the other pieces of an old ship that were also becoming more submerged in the water. And once we got there, we came across like an old winch and all sorts of like cool like wheels and clearly things that are part of a ship.
I thought we were gonna go like kind of further out, but then I saw this crab. I was like, oh, I gotta get this on film because he's so cute. So as I get him, he clocks me and he starts like scurrying away. But as he's doing that, he actually led me to another ship. I turn around and the girls are all gone. So I was like, guess we're on a solo dive today. So I go and I'm scurrying along, and I start finding all these different treasures. So now I'm finding these really cool old bottles. Then I'm finding a hammer. Then I'm finding pottery. Like, it was really cool, like the stuff that we found. Every dive's a good dive.
I hear that Captain Dave has some ghost stories to tell us. I'm excited to hear them. I'm in the kind of spooky mood now.
So we get out of the water from the dive. We see a couple of our friends, Kirsten and Caitlin, are there. Captain Dave was gonna tell us some ghost stories. So he's setting up a bonfire. We've got some time to kill, and we all have the genius idea to head back up to the fort and the abandoned houses to check them out at night. I mean, who wouldn't check out haunted houses at night?
Dave made it clear that because the sun was now down, that he wasn't going to partake in our nighttime adventure. So rather than coming with us, he gave us a little gift to take with us.
I have a K2 meter in my hand, and with this meter, it's supposed to detect paranormal activity. So when it gets brighter and to orange or to red, that means that there's a lot of paranormal activity happening.
Just long into the weeds.
I don't like this. So we go back to the house, and you can see more clearly into the window this time, especially with our lights. And I swear The wheelchair and the doll have moved more to the center of the room, and I freak out. You guys, no, that chair is in a different spot. That's not right. That's not right. Oh my God.
Oh, it's dead! Oh my God!
This is worst case scenario for me. This is not helping my situation. I'm not good with it.
Exploring the island in the dark was 10 times scarier than exploring it when there was still light. It also shows how much we trust each other. Our group of friends will follow each other literally into a dark dungeon at nighttime.
So I take the K2 meter, and I was like, we gotta go in the tunnel. Girls are like, oh no, we aren't.
Yeah. Is she going? She's in.
There's no way we're going in this tunnel. Just for a second.
I've never seen this side of April before. Who knew?
The meter starts going into the orange. So things are going on, things are happening. And then I hear squeak, squeak, squeak. And I am way more scared of mice than I am of ghosts.
Oh, did you see that? So when we get back down to where Dave had set up the fire and the hot chocolate and some chairs for us, I felt like he was finally gonna tell us the story.
So in the 1880s, there was a passenger ship coming from Ireland, and they had an outbreak of cholera on the way over. So they actually were forced to stop here in Halifax on their way. And they signaled to the harbor authorities they had sickness on board. The further instruction was to ferry their passengers by lifeboat into McNabb's Island, and they would send out some medical professionals of the day and food and supplies to care for those passengers.
The fact that this was a quarantine zone for cholera patients really gave light to the fact that so many people died of excruciating causes or died very suddenly, that it made sense that we would feel those uneasy spirits still kind of lurking around us.
The ship had about 1,100 passengers on board, and of the 1,100, somewhere between 250 and 300 actually did pass away and are all buried, the majority on McNabb's Island.
As Dave is telling us these really spooky stories, Jen started to hear the sound coming from the woods.
Do you guys keep hearing that squealing coming from up there?
Eventually, those noises ended up being heard by more and more people. Sarah was right beside her, and Sarah started to hear it, and then we all slowly around the circle started to hear these same weird noises.
We hear this guttural, like, wail, almost like a baby. I've spent a good amount of time in the woods camping, you know, around Nova Scotia, on islands, whatever. And it's so creepy. Like, it's not a fox, it's not a deer, it's not anything that lives on the island. Never in my life have I heard a sound like this before.
It was this really loud wailing, kind of like sounded like a child wailing, like they needed help. You know, like when you have like that baby that's just like, the lungs are just like coming out of their soul. And it kept happening.
It's interesting, whenever I've had people in groups on this island, very rare does everybody actually hear something.
That's interesting. Did you hear it?
It's like almost siren-y, but not quite.
Sounds like a baby wailing. Yeah, it does.
So we're sitting around the fire. Captain Dave is telling these stories, and then all of a sudden, he kind of gets wide-eyed, and he's staring right past us.